Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Managing Director of LAMATA says Blue Rail Line Phase 2 project to commence passenger operation by first quarter of 2027. And a look at the importance of road signage on Lagos roads. Let's kick off from the rail transport sector, one that has been fully embraced by Lagos citizens. For this reason, the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority is racing to complete the second phase of the Blue Rail Line project, and the Managing Director of the agency, Mrs. Abimbola Akinjo, says passenger operation of the Phase 2 will commence in the first quarter of 2027. Now, the Managing Director of LAMATA made this comment during an inspection of ongoing projects in Marina and Mile 2. Please take a look.
The Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Mrs. Abimbola Akinjo, and her team are out for an on-the-spot assessment of the ongoing engineering work at Marina that will bring about a transport interchange for commuters. Workers on site are seriously engaged with massive equipment that will deliver the Marina interchange hub for citizens. The Strategic Transport Master Plan project is very close to the Marina train station for easy connectivity of train services, water transportation, and bus rapid transit option for passengers. The LAMATA team proceeds to Marina Station, where the construction of a walkway is also ongoing, and the site engineer briefs the Managing Director of LAMATA about the scope of the project.
Just a walkway and then we cover this place such that when you are going to the station, you can use the gate. We have gates for pedestrians, we have vehicular gates. So that means that from here backwards is where we're going to have all of our interchange activities. Yes, sir.
Mini shops also taking shape along the Marina interchange, and members of the team is leaving nothing to chance concerning safety of commuters. They make their way into the train station and await the next ride that will take them to Mile 2.
When is your train?
How long? It's not working.
It's working side. Welcome. Welcome.
Here comes a train which drops off passengers, then straight to Mile 2. In less than 20 minutes, they arrive at their destination to inspect another ongoing transport interchange project at Mile 2, as well as the Phase 2 of the Blue Rail Line project. LAMATA MD is confident that the two transport interchange projects will make commuting a lot easier, and both infrastructure projects will be delivered by end of the year or first quarter 2026.
Marina is a major transport hub for us. It's a major interchange. It has both rail, road and water. So that's what an interchange does is an area that is transport oriented, and it is ensuring that you can change modes in less than 5 minutes. So we're making sure that if you land from the train, you can take a bus to complete your journey. If you land from water jetty, you can take a train to complete your journey, or you can take the buses. So every hierarchy of bus is in Marina. So in talking about interchanges, I must also note that we have non-motorized transport in Marina and here. So we have cycle paths, we have cycle parks for cycle, and we also have walkways. Walkways that will link you from the conurbation inside Inner Marina. So if you know, most of us, there are a lot of office buildings in Inner Marina, so you'll be able to walk from there to the train stations, to the bus services. And the same thing is happening here in Mile 2. Mile 2 also has all modes of transportation. There's rail, there's road, the buses, and then there's water. And there is also NMT, non-motorized transport. So we're ensuring that we have walkways, we have cycle paths, we have bus terminals, we have bus stops for the first and last mile buses, we have bus stops for regular buses, mid-traffic buses, and we also have a BRT alongside the whole corridor. So it is ensuring that we are providing not just transportation, but transport infrastructure that will support the vision of the state, which is to have this integrated intermodal transport system. And that's what these two interchanges are doing, to facilitate the integrated system that Lagos is promoting. For Mile 2, we're looking at the end of the year. For Marina, we're also looking at the end of the year with some constraints, and those constraints were what we identified in Marina when we got there today. If you notice, there are two contractors working in Marina. Federal government are also doing work on the seawall, and we are continuing to do this work. So ensuring that we work together without impinging on one another's program is what we've been managing. And today we have gotten to a place where we have now agreed with the federal government contractor how to give us a bit more room, and so therefore the possibility of completing at the very worst first quarter of next year is what we're looking at for Marina. So therefore, if you take the train already and it takes you to Marina, the ability to complete it, maybe you need a bus to go further into Victoria Island or Ikoyi or wherever, that will exist within the same system. And then also ambience. There is a position that our public transport infrastructure should be pleasing to the people that will use it. So the infrastructure exists for functionality, it exists for efficiency, and it exists also for the people to be able to enjoy what we have done. So if you look at the Marina infrastructure, it's overlooking the water. There will be landscaping that allows you to have a sit and just think. Those sorts of things are part of what we are also inputting into the infrastructure. We have been touting this carry card for a long time. We've been around for over 4 years. We have over 5 million users of this carry card, or at least there are 5 million people, Lagosians, carrying this card. This is the card you require to do all of these journeys, whether on the ferries, on train, or on buses. Any of our buses, you utilize the same card. So this integration is all about location, it is about infrastructure, and it is about systems.
The journey continues to Mamaza area of Lagos to inspect the progress of work for the construction of a new bridge. LAMATA says the Mamaza station will be completed by end of the year, with an appeal to residents not to cross the electric rail tracks and also protect the infrastructure provided by government.
This is actually the trickiest of all our bridges. We have 3 bridges on this second phase of the Blue Line. We have Mamaza, we have Lasu, and we have Alaba Bridge. The other 2 bridges, all of this substructure has been completed, and we're starting to build abutment walls and retaining walls. But here, the challenge here is that we removed a bridge from here, and the existing foundation is somewhat in the way of us doing the piling for the new bridge. So each pile is taking us almost a month to complete. So we have 66, they have done about 36 at the moment. and we are trying very hard to ensure that we complete without causing damage. We expect that the substructure here in Mamaza will be completed by the end of the year. That in itself is a huge feat for us. Now, what do we have? The second phase, like you say, is 6 stations and 3 bridges and about 13.5 kilometers of track work. The vision is that we want to be complete with the structure by the end of the year for all of those stations. Those stations are quite advanced. So we will say, as per the whole project, we're about 40% done. The program is speaking to completion by the end of 2026, so that we can start looking at starting of operations along this side by the first quarter of 2027. Buildings for the stations ongoing, no challenges there. The biggest, after Mamaza, the biggest challenge will now be a depot at Okokomaiko. Acquisitions have to be done there, ensuring that we implement enough to allow us to have stabling and maintenance and all of that training in that area is also part of what we're looking at. But we're quite comfortable and quite confident that by the end of 2026, the alignment will be completed all the way to Okokomaiko. What is important is how many services can we provide. Today we're providing 72 services a day on the Blue Line, and we're doing it in 18-minute cycles. What we will start doing in the next couple of months will be every 10 minutes there will be a train on that system, at least in the peak period, the morning peak and the evening peak. During in-between peak, we will maintain the 18 minutes per cycle. So for us, we're very, very focused on delivering a service, and that is important. It is also important to note that we have been running this for it's about 18 months now, and it's been very, very successful. We've not had an accident, we've not had an incident, and we have had very, very, very little downtime. When I look at our efficiency, we're over 96%. So that's something for us that we're trying to ensure we maintain and get better at. So once it's completed and we have the level of headways that we're expecting, and that means that I can run a train, at least in the peak, every 3 minutes, we'll be able to offer services to not less than 450,000 passengers every day. As far as we're concerned, we expect that by the first quarter of 2027, we will have a concessionaire that we will unveil and hand over operations to. We have maintenance agreements with the contractor who's built it, and they are the ones who have been doing the maintenance to date. You being on the corridor with us, you can see the level of care that has been provided to the infrastructure. The infrastructure looks almost as new as 3 years ago when it was implemented. Beyond that, when we now hand over to the private sector, they will also have responsibility to ensure the maintenance and all of that. But also, it is important that we as citizens of Lagos, this infrastructure belongs to all of us. It is important that all of us take ownership and ensure that we look after it. When you see somebody doing something wrong, please make sure you tell someone in the station. All of this belongs to all of us, and it is our pride because we're the first country and the first state in Africa to have, or at least sub-Saharan Africa, to have an electric metro system. And today, we have a lot of testaments from people who use this now, who probably used to drive their cars. And you can imagine when we get to the likes of Okokomaiko, we would have passed Festac, Alaba, Trade Fair, people who go all that way from that area into the island. They don't need their cars anymore. So we're looking for that position where there will be reduction in congestion. Even today, there's reduction in congestion. When you're on the buses, you're on the trains, please, please, please look after it. Don't put your feet on the chairs, don't eat and litter, don't run into the doors. That's another thing. Don't run into the train when the doors are shutting, because you will cause a problem. You will cause a problem for yourself because you could get injured. You can cause a problem for the service because the service may be delayed. And also ensure that you don't cross the tracks. Here it's electric and it's fenced off. It's the same thing. Don't cross the tracks on the red line system either. The red line system, it is important that people note that it is not a place to carry out enterprise. It is not a place to cross. Please, 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 for your safety, for the safety of the people on the trains, don't cross the tracks, and ensure also that you look after the infrastructure.
The Blue Rail Line Phase 2 has 3 bridges and 6 stations, which include Festac, Alakija, Trade Fair, Lasu, Volkswagen and Okokomaiko. LAMATA assures Lagosians of passenger operation by 2027 in order to reduce road congestion and carbon emission in Lagos State.
From rail transport to road signages, and this time we turn our attention to the significance of road signage in a commercial city like Lagos, educating the public about the different signs and why it must be adhered to.
Lagos is a city majorly connected by roads linking several communities. One common thing on the highway and other road networks are road signages indicating different information to help motorists navigate easily on the road. For instance, the yellow crisscross lines means do not enter a box junction if your exit is not clear. Not everyone has knowledge about these road signages, and for those who are aware of these signs, they ignore it, not minding who gets hurt.
This is zebra crossing, a road signage provided by the government for pedestrians to make their way to the other side of the road. And drivers are expected to stop for passengers to make their way to the other side. Unfortunately, not so many drivers obey this road signage and sometimes lead to accidents on the road.
Within the Lagos State seat of power, some residents call for major advocacy on road signage.
A lot of people don't even know that there are signs that they're supposed to obey. They just cross the road. At the end of the day, they got hit by hit and run drivers. There should be a lot of sensitization, orientation for the public so that they will be aware that there's a need to go with zebra crossing. And again, the zebra crossing, some motorists don't even know what is called zebra crossing. So in this state, we expect that there should be orientation with commercial transporters and private owners, that they should obey traffic lights and road signs on our highway.
Road signs are signs that are very important in our day-to-day transport system. But it's just a pity that most of the Nigerian drivers, they don't observe it. And look at this arrow indicating that this is the direction you have to. If you look at some blocks there, they created some blocks. It means probably during an event, a very serious event, they can make use of that space as a car park, temporarily, not permanent. The education needs to start from the primary school. I must be honest with you, and it's a gradual process. By the time you ingest such thing into our system from the childhood down to the university level, we will get used to it.
My message there is that they should, number one, they should be properly because some of them actually they don't obey the rule, and the thing there is that they should obey the law behind it, so that they will not be made as a slave goat of disobeying the role of the road lights.
The State Director of Transport Engineering, Mr. Bada Bolaji, enlightened the public on road signage, double single lines, including the digital ones, among others. He appealed to citizens not to vandalize public infrastructure.
Road signage are more like those markings. They are information disseminating. They are also warning. They are also guiding and directing. On a road, we understand that naturally human error plays a greater role in accidents because you have the road, you have the vehicle and the driver. However, with better information, drivers can take informed decisions. And that's why on any roads, we insist on marking. Marking are those information, those arrows and all those things. There are signs, just like said, the vertical on which you are speaking to, the signs. Markings, then the signs which form a form of gantry, smaller ones, and there are bigger ones too that you see on highways. There are some markings that are yellow, there are some that are white. Basically, it's just a matter of the differences there is just a matter of standard between UK and US. However, the most important thing there is when you have a broken lines, it means that you are permitted or you can overtake. When you have a solid line, it means that at that point, you can't overtake. Because from the design geometry of that road, the road may be a bend. Overtaking on a bend is dangerous. So you have it solid at that point. When you are beyond those points, they break it broken. But there are sometimes you see double solid lines. When you see that double solid line, it means that at the center of the road, it means that that solid line is just standing in place of having a physical barrier like a concrete there. You have to assume so that you don't cross it at all. If you cross it, you are looking for trouble, you can cause accident, whatever. So that thing is just meant to protect that. But under that condition, is even dangerous, like you are trying to create a form of a security breach for the next driver on the other opposing side. So that's how those lines are. When you have them solid lines on the side of the roads, it means that you can't park there. If you are driving on the road, first of all check, is there an arrow directing you to enter on the road pavement? If there is no arrow there, it almost means that that road is one way. We make provision for zebra crossing, that you have those, the thickness of those lines are even heavier and wider, and it crosses through the entire stretch of the road. It presupposes that whoever is driving along that road, if you see anybody with the intention of crossing, waiting, you are supposed to wait and let the pedestrian cross, then proceed on your journey. But the problem we have is that for some unscrupulous reasons or whatever, some people removed it. And now we soon discover that there are all these scavengers and all those things that trade on all these aluminum materials. They keep stealing those things. Light signals on a junction. The red says stop for the vehicle. The amber, which is almost yellow, is saying prepare to go. It's not saying go. It's allowing whoever is crossing or anything activity to dissipate from that junction such that you can now move. And some, with the advent of technology, you have some push button that if you just press, you will recognize that you want to cross and it will give you time. Those are smart junctions. And there are some that have sensors, cameras. Once it sees you with the intention to cross at that zebra crossing, it will allocate time for you to cross.
Knowing the importance of road signage on the ever-busy Lagos road, being controlled by officials of the State Traffic Management Authority, patience is the key word for every road user to avoid crashes.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, sir. The general manager in charge of LAMATA says between January to June 2025, over 700 accidents have been recorded on Lagos roads. He emphasized that the digital signage and the traffic management solution device is not to generate revenue, but to ensure smooth movement of vehicles across the states.
For January to June 2025, we'll be able to gather accident information to the tune of 764 accidents on Lagos roads across the 5 divisions of the state. Traffic management is a shared responsibility. LASMA, or Lagos State Government, has been playing its own role. The road users too should play their role by ensuring that they obey traffic rules and regulations and uphold high-level safety standard. Currently, we are using TMS, Traffic Management Solution. Is an handheld device given to our men across the roads in Lagos. Whenever any vehicle commits any traffic infraction, it is their responsibility to use this technology to capture such traffic offense. After capturing, within seconds, message will be sent to a special table that will evaluate, examine, and dissect the evidence they brought in. Currently, the ministry has been able to come up with a plastic road signages of international standard. Very soon, they're going to roll it out. This is in place in order to checkmate the issue of vandals. As I mentioned earlier, Lagos State government always, on a yearly basis, invest heavily on traffic management. If you look at the Team Plus agenda of Mr. Governor, the #1 agenda happened to be traffic management and transportation. This will tell you how important is the movement of goods and services to Mr. Governor. Immediately after 3rd Mainland Bridge, around Alakpere, we have a speed limit camera there. This was not erected to generate revenue. It was done by the government purely to ensure safety of every road users. Also, we have the speed limit too on Mobolaji Bakantoni around Nitel before getting to Maryland. We have e-policing camera in Olowopopo and Allen Avenue, ITS at Allen Avenue. All these are part of the trajectory in ensuring that Lagosians have a seamless and a free flow of their movement at all times. LASMA, as an agency, has equally engaged in an aggressive traffic advocacy that has to do with the principle of traffic rules and regulation, why the public should also uphold optimal standard for safety whenever they are using the road.
The Lagos State government advises road users to adhere to all road signages and state laws to avoid being fined.
So that's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Remember, obey all state laws, be the best you can, but most importantly, please always live a healthy life. Till next time, it's bye for now.